I went to my preacher, but my soul couldn't be redeemed, so I loaded up my pistol, but the firing pin was a dud, too much.
Hello and welcome to another episode of The Dumpster Dive with your host Amber, J Nasty, and Pepper, where we analyze the worst of the worst in awful horror flicks and allow adult beverages to give us a great sense of humor about it. Welcome to another episode of The Dumpster Dive. Tonight we're watching the 1988 classic Killer Klowns from Outer Space.
Yuck.
This film was directed by Steven Chiodo, and apparently this is a family film with hella Chiodos being credited. Now, this film was Pep's choice, so Robin, let's get into it. Why did you pick this movie?
This is actually the first scary movie that I've ever seen. I remember when I was a little kid and I was at a slumber party and we were watching this movie, and back then when I watched it, I was like maybe 8, 7 years old, and it kind of scared the crap out of me. I was just
this
like,
movie scared you.
When I was like 7, 8 years old, I was like, oh my god, there's somebody that's, aliens coming down from outer space and they're gonna put me in a, cotton candy cocoon and eat me and all that stuff and drink my blood. Like, I didn't know what was going on. At that time you're a child, and of course now it's just hilarious to watch, and you realize now that it's like, oh my god, this is an awful movie. But back then I was scared. I was just like, oh my gosh, the clowns are gonna get me.
There were so many things wrong with what you just said.
I know.
It wasn't scary. It wasn't funny.
But you think as a child, though, it's got, it's scary. I remember actually covering my eyes at one point in the movie. It's like, oh no, I can't see this.
You had a weak-ass childhood.
Yeah.
That's all I can tell you about this.
I mean, we are apparently the strongest of
This
the
movie
strong.
stinks.
It's a childhood memory,
Oh, so it's nostalgic for you to watch it.
Yes, it was.
You were excited and you were hoping that we would like it.
Yeah. I wanted it to be just like when it was the first time I saw it.
Well, I hope your feelings are hurt, because this movie sucks. It stinks.
I don't think it sucks. It's just not as awesome as it was.
Those are strong words.
I mean,
I don't think it sucks.
This is a movie that I used to fall asleep on. I don't know if anybody out there listening can relate to the fact that, you have a movie that you've seen a dozen times and it's like you just want to go to sleep. So you just have something on in the background. I only make it through about 10 minutes of this movie before I'm just flatline comatose and I'm not paying attention to it. I had to watch this movie all the way through for the first time since I was like 16 years old, and it freaking stinks.
This is my first time watching it all the way through because from the first 10 minutes, I feel like you can get the gist of this bullshit.
You've never seen this all the way through before?
I've seen bits and pieces of it. Like, it's not one of those movies that I'm like, oh, I remember exactly how this is going to end. Saw the ending, hated the movie.
I used to have good memories of this movie until tonight, and now all I can say is yuck.
It came on not too long ago, and I actually watched it. I didn't get to watch it from the beginning. I watched it like halfway through, because when I saw it, I was like, oh shit, it's on. So I got to watch it, and I was still like excited, just like I was, when I was a little kid. I was just sitting there happy watching it. I think it has that nostalgia feeling, because it reminds me of my childhood. So, y'all may think it's awful, but I still love it.
Rough childhood we had here.
It can't be that bad. You guys had to have some favorite parts.
Hated it! It was fucking pardon my language. I came out of my own skull for a second. It's terrible. Okay, listen. I am 36 years old. I'm a purist, okay? If I give any good points to this movie, it's the practical effects. It's the fact that they didn't ruin this experience for me with a bunch of computer-generated crap, okay? There's a lot of good makeup and prosthetic effects in this movie, but that's all I give it. They made this movie for the purpose of it being a cult classic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Take Evil Dead. Raimi made that movie like he was kind of expecting it to be somewhat important, but it never was. And then it was like later on that people like realized that it was, the things he was doing in the movie was like unbelievable for the time, and it became cult classic. Evil Dead, Rocky Horror Picture Show. Not appreciated when they came out, but later on, cult classic. This is a cult classic, and I don't understand why. I do not like this movie.
I hated everything about this movie. I mean, I didn't hate everything about this movie because it had some interesting practical effects, but I've seen better. And the storyline was just boring. The characters were just like, I was just like, can we like? They just weren't like. You had the bitter cop that's been there for way too long.
God.
And then you have like.
And I love John Vernon too because John Vernon. John Vernon always seems to be a guy in the movie that you want to die horribly because he is a horrible person in the movie.
Yeah.
But turning him into a damn ventriloquist dummy is silly to me. And then like the clown pulling his bloody hand out of his back like
where did that come out of?
That is disgusting. Like
I hope that was not his asshole.
Exactly. I mean, oh my god. Like that's just
the things that I'm picturing right now are horrendous. Like I cannot do this shit.
Well, one of my favorite parts of the movie,
okay,
was when the guy and the girl had already seen like the tent and everything like that, and the clowns, and they were running away. Well, when the guys had like the little balloon dog like chasing after them, and the balloon dog was barking. That was cute. I mean, I thought that was funny.
cute, but it wasn't funny. It was like
cute.
I expected it. My favorite part was that her clothes were that musty that those popcorns turned into monsters. That's my favorite part.
Because I swear they threw kernels on her and they were popped popcorn by the time they hit her.
Oh my god, you know how funky her laundry had to be.
Ripe.
To turn those kernels into full-fledged ass monsters.
Her corduroy pants were tart. That's all we can say.
She was wearing hella layers.
I didn't think it was that cold there, but everybody like had a lot of layers on.
Hella layers. And then like the main dude, like I don't know, his character, like he was such a chump. He ended up getting played out at the end.
You talking about Mike, the main? Okay, because I've been to the bars with dudes like him before, and he seems to me.
He's a square.
He's the guy. He's the guy that has no game and just inexplicably has a hot chick from having no game. Because like it reminds me of a dude I went to the bar with, and like he had just gotten over a breakup. I'm telling him, okay, you see those two blondes over there? We're gonna go over there. We're gonna talk to them. I'm gonna wingman for you. You just be yourself. Be yourself. Be yourself. 3 times I told him this. He walks up to these girls. He makes this stupid joke, just like Mike from, Yada Yada did.
Killer Clowns.
Killer Clowns. Like, and it was like Daffy Duck. Like, way over the freaking top. Not offensive to that they walked away, but it was just like they didn't laugh. Right. And he says, hi, I'm, such and such. Can I buy you a drink? No, we actually have drinks right now. Okay. Well, we'll see you ladies later. And he walks off. No game. Like, he's the guy that would leave me there after totally bombing out with girls who didn't think his jokes were funny. He's that guy.
But he didn't tell a joke. He just offered to buy a drink.
Precisely. Because he was saying no jokes in this movie. I don't know what the hell he had this girlfriend
You know
for.
what I think that he got the girl from? I think it's because of his sweater. Even though his sweater was fucking atrocious, it looked astute. That shit looked like he had parents' money. So I would go for him too.
Yeah, he had mommy and daddy money.
He had mommy and daddy money. You could tell he had no style because that cobalt blue shirt that he was wearing with that deathly gray sweater did not match.
That was ugly.
But that was daddy money right there.
That was a corpse gray sweater he was
And she was dressed like a preschool art teacher, so she needed some fucking money.
So I don't know about costume design. Costume design gets a freaking F.
No, the clowns' costumes, those were look.
But that goes into the practical. The effects were great.
Yeah.
In that movie, I can't take anything away.
They were great, but
that.
it's like I don't even want to look at the practical effects because it's not just about the practical effects.
I mean, knocking the biker's head off and it flies up just
that was my favorite
shot.
part. That was my favorite part of the movie because that one black guy in the midst, he looked like our brother. He looked like our brother RJ. Our brother RJ is like a biker.
He's not like a biker. He's not like a biker. Oh my god.
He's watched Sons of Anarchy once or twice.
There's being a biker and having a motorcycle.
He's watched Sons of Anarchy once or twice. Anyways, he's that one black guy that was in that one scene.
Should let the man ride his bike.
The one that ran away instead of getting on a motorcycle.
The one black guy that had no bike in the entire movie just ran away when shit hit the fan.
He did not have a bike, did he?
Shit hit the fan. He's like, all right, taxi.
Almost as if he wanted to call his girlfriend to bring the car around.
All right, this is all shade, no tea.
Yeah, all shade.
This is turning into.
Let's get back to the task at hand.
I thought the other good part was like the puppet animals that he did.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, when
The shadow puppet?
the shadow puppets when he had the Jurassic Park
Man, them old people
Tyrannosaurus
were
Rex,
excited
they
as
came
fuck.
over and like ate them and shit. I thought that was pretty cool.
Them old people were like, I haven't seen shadow puppets since 1947.
Because no one's done shadow puppets since 19.
Just like at the beginning of the movie, the old guy, the old farmer, he was hella excited because it was like,
Oh yeah.
I haven't seen a carnival since 1823, right after the Depression. Like his ass was just,
Lord.
I don't know anybody who was excited to see a carnival like that. If your shit wasn't back there last week, I am not riding your rides. Like,
Negative. You don't
I need an
trust-
established park.
Like if this was the Walmart parking lot on a Wednesday and you show up on a Friday, I'm not riding the fucking Gravitron.
Hell
I'm not
no.
doing it.
This is my problem with the movie. Why did it take him so long to find the entrance, but Mullet McGee and art teacher Susie found the entrance and they went the exact same way?
I have no idea. I mean, it wasn't that hard to walk around.
This movie is another PSA movie because
Okay, let's have it.
homegirl, the little girl, she's probably like what, 11 max?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Sitting
the
at a
burger
table,
joint. Yeah.
sitting at a table full of adults, getting lured over by a big ass clown. These adults are about to let this girl walk all the way out the door before they grab her, and this is what they had to say to her: "You can't go anywhere until you finish your slice of pizza."
No, because they were too busy being catty to each other. You could tell they were either sisters or sister-in-laws. Because the fat one with the mullet was like, "It is if you're the winner." like your kid's about to get abducted right now. You want to wipe the freaking steam out of your glasses and pay attention to your kid for a second? 30 years later, it's still an issue. Message.
I mean, when I was watching this movie, I was just like, I feel like me and Jay Nasty. I'm not calling him that. His name is Jason.
I don't know. I'm kind of liking the sound of Napoleon Dolomite.
Yeah,
Right now.
nobody likes that. It's okay.
Napoleon Dolomite.
So, anyways, we were talking and we were like, I don't know if we were really gonna have anything to talk about this movie, and we really don't. But I feel like that's okay because not every movie is gonna be a hit.
Yeah, this one was trash.
Yeah, and so
This movie was amazing.
If we're doing the dumpster dive, this is the half disintegrated newspapers, the leakage under the trash bags,
this movie is.
and this
think
is
so.
the bottom of the dumpster.
I don't think so. I think it's still in the middle. It's below.
You think so?
Yeah, I think it's in the middle.
I feel
it's
like
not
at this
really
moment,
the top of the best, and it's also not the worst of the worst.
No, it's the worst of the worst. It's boring, Robin. It's not even. It's not scary. It's not funny. It's just boring. It's like
It's listed as a comedy sci-fi.
It is.
The only thing that makes it a sci-fi is the fact that they're killer clowns from outer space. In terms of a comedy, no.
Okay, we've seen some really bad movies.
We've
This
seen
is
a
the
lot
worst.
of bad movies.
Okay, Ginger Dead Man, that's the bottom of the bottom.
But that's
haven't
only
even seen
because
that movie,
Gary
have you?
Busey was in it. And I don't give a shit if
Have you
Gary
seen that
Busey
movie?
knocks on the door. I'll tell
that
him.
movie is funnier than this movie
We
though.
watched Ginger Dead Man the other night. We both fell asleep to it.
Ginger Dead Man is funnier than this movie, and the problem that I
almost
have
stayed
with this
awake
movie,
for this movie after drinking too.
that's because I was forced into it because of school. Not because I wanted to. If I could have left midway through the movie, I would have asked for my ticket to
What,
be returned.
Ginger Dead?
No,
No,
of this
this one.
movie, Killer
Oh.
Clowns.
She liked Ginger Dead.
My problem with this movie is it was so boring and so dull. The thing you need to know about me is I can make jokes about anything.
This is the
I
quietest
had
we've
none.
been.
We were just watching it
This is the quietest the three of us have been watching a movie.
except for Robin, she
Please
had a
understand
blast.
I know.
Robin had a blast.
I did. I enjoyed
I don't
it.
know if it's because I've seen this so many times and I'm just kind of numb to it.
This is my first time watching it all the way through, and I was not impressed. It was bland. It was unsalted. It was unseasoned. It was just,
Wow. Okay, so you
I
guys
will watch
need
It
to
was
rate
like
it.
Thanksgiving over at your mom's house, but
Ugh.
So let's rate it then. How we're gonna do this rating is we're gonna give it a 1 out of 5 on enjoyment, on the special effects, and the cheese factor, with the cheesiest movie being a number 5, which you already know for this movie. The cheese factor for this is a number 5 for me. It is so cheesy, but it's not funny cheesy. It's just like
well,
It's
I'm gonna
lactose
go ahead and
intolerant
start.
cheese.
I'm gonna go ahead and start. I know I have been a very critical critic of this movie. I'm still gonna give it a 3.
that's on what?
I'm still gonna give it a 3, and I'll tell you why.
Is that an enjoyment or what?
Because I've seen some garbage movies, and I know that there are worse movies than that, but we're not watching them. You know what I mean? If you came to me with Motel Hell, I'd tell you, you know what, you're gonna have to take an F on this because I'm
Yeah.
not sitting through that movie again. I watched this movie again, so it has to have something.
I don't think the acting is
If
as
we're
worse as
talking-
some of the movies we've
If we're
seen.
talking cheese and effects, that's at least giving it a 3 out of 5 for me.
So overall, you'll give it a 3.
I'll give it a 3.
So on enjoyment, how enjoyable was this movie? Like how-
Enjoyment itself,
Yeah.
not the other two,
just enjoyment.
I'll give it a 1 out of 5.
So special effects as well.
Special effects and cheese factor, I'll give it a 3. If the enjoyment is 1,
1. I meant 2. That's your median.
we'll give it a 2. We'll call it 2 out of 5.
All right. That's your overall score. Robin, what about you?
The special effects, I definitely think like the clown costumes were like the makeup and shit was freaking awesome. You know what I mean? Like especially when you think about when it came out.
Right.
You know, I mean, the costumes for the clowns and stuff, the other people's costumes, well, it was the 80s, so yeah, it's going to be awful.
Horrendous,
But,
yeah.
and even you got to think about the special effects of, like, the cotton candy cocoons. Yeah, it was cheesy, but it was still kind of cool, like, the way they were able to, like, whip them around. And even when they, you know, they were shooting them in the nose and the clowns were exploding and shit, you know.
That's what I mean. That stuff was good.
What's the cheese factor?
factor.
Like
Cheese
how cheesy
factor.
How
was it?
cheesy.
Oh, yeah.
5 being the cheesiest.
I'm between the special effects and the cheesiness, I'm going to say Jay Nasty and say a 3.
Let's stop calling him that.
Okay.
Napoleon Dolomite.
No, we're
Okay,
not.
cheese factor is macaroni and cheese at your mom's house
Yeah.
is a 1, and
Versus our
versus
mom's house.
our house,
Yeah.
and it's, you know, that's the 5.
I'm going to say a 3, though. So, and then enjoyment overall, I enjoy it, so I'm going to give the enjoyment a 4.
All right, so this is the one that actually matters because these niggas was off their rockers. Enjoyment, I'm gonna give this shit a 1. I did not enjoy this, and I have a very enjoyable personality. I get excited easily, and I'm like, oh, this is cool. This is cool. I did not feel this way about this movie.
I feel like you're like me. I genuinely enjoy garbage movies.
I do, but this was not it. This
It was
I'm gonna hit you with a Randy Jackson and say this was a no for me, dog. The special effects, I'll give it a solid like 3.5. I'll be nice on that because they were entertaining to watch. And the cheesiest, like I said earlier, there was a 5. It was fucking corny. Yeah, so pretty much that's our rating of this movie.
Try again, Chiodo Brothers. Anyways,
This was another episode of the Dumpster Dive. We're gonna keep doing this. This is always fun when we get together and watch terrible movies and talk shit about each other and about the movie because that's what we're here for.
indeed.
Okay.
So we'll see you guys on the next episode at the Dumpster Dive. You guys should tune in.
Yes.